What did you say? You killed Manhwa of the Flame Emperor base? Commander Lao was not sure if he heard correctly. He was really shocked. The people of the Flame Emperor were not easy to deal with. Did something happen that made the protagonist do this? But on the other side, Duan Fei could not tell the truth. He had a secret that he did not want to reveal to anyone. It was the secret about Anna. Commander Lao was astonished when he heard Duan Fei say, "You have to leave? If you are afraid of implicating the refugee camp, you don't have to do that. No matter what, the refugee camp is always on the same side as you. If it weren't for you, it would have been gone long ago." Duan Fei was very determined with his intention. "Commander Lao, please listen to me. Even if this didn't happen, I would still leave. The refugee camp was just established not long ago. The safety of the people here is the most important thing." But Commander Lao hesitated. He did not let him continue. "Don't worry, I won't leave here forever. This is also my home. I will come back to help if needed." Then he thought in his head, "I didn't expect that a Commander Lao who always puts the safety of the people first would confront the Flame Emperor for me. This is really surprising. You solved the problem of the zombie Imperial Army and the Quang Minh base for me. But I couldn't help you find your sister. I'm really disappointed in myself." Commander Lao put his hand on his forehead and blamed himself. Hearing that, he smiled and said, "It's okay. You have helped me a lot. My friend also thanks to your timely treatment and protection that he can be safe until now. You always make me feel the hope of humanity. I really feel like I'm filled with the missing fatherly love when I'm with you. You are also the father of this refugee camp." At this point, Commander Lao sighed and said, "I didn't expect that in the end, you would comfort me instead. I'm really embarrassed. I was a bit moved just now, so just do as you planned, okay?" He asked again, "When do you plan to leave?" "I don't know when the Flame Emperor will find out about Manhwa's death. I think I have to go quickly," he answered. Then he stood up and said, "I'll go ahead then. There are still some things to deal with." "I understand." Seeing him about to leave, Commander Lao hurriedly called Duan Fei. He hesitated a bit and said, "Can you come back whenever you want?" "Oh, I know," he answered softly and left and closed the door behind him. When he got out of the hallway, Duan Fei scratched his head and thought, "I really can't cope with this situation." A soldier standing guard saw him and said, "Hello, war god." "Oh, hello." He turned his head in surprise and thought, "But there's no other way. This time I come back and I don't know when I can come back again. If I don't say a word, it would be too rude." He walked to a door of a room and opened it and walked in. He was very surprised to see that his friends were waiting for him in the room. "Brother Duan Fei, you're back." He was embarrassed and said, "Why are you guys here?" Everyone came over to him. Li Feng put his arm around his shoulder and said, "You little bastard, you found Xinu and didn't tell us a word." Tran Jiahao next to him also added, "You're always sneaky." "Sorry, there was really no time." Duan Fei replied awkwardly. Xinu and Anna each pulled one of his hands and said, "Duan Fei brother, come here quickly and eat this." At this time, Duan Fei realized that he had made a lot of friends by his side. After being reincarnated, many things happened. At first he had nothing at all, but now he knew what family love was and understood more about friendship. He always felt that time passed very fast, but every time he remembered it was very vast. It seemed like he didn't want to miss every second. Inside the room, everyone sat in a circle and ate, drank, and chatted happily. "Drink some more, it's okay, Li Feng." "Don't drink anymore." Anna hated the smell of alcohol. Ka stood outside on the balcony by herself and enjoyed the breeze. Duan Fei brought a can of beer out to the balcony with her. "Do you want to drink beer?" "Beer is bitter, I don't like it." "Why are you so absent-minded?" "Nothing, I just feel that everything is so amazing. If I hadn't saved you back then, would this world be like this? Maybe someone else would have done the same things as me. The two stood and looked at the stars in the sky while talking. Suddenly, Haka turned her head and looked at him. Duan Fei, you are leaving soon, aren't you? Duan Fei was a bit surprised. How do you know? Haka took the can of beer from his hand and scolded him. You are always like this. Every time you come back for one night, you sneak away right away. I was the one who picked you up every time. Duan Fei could only smile. That's true. Then she opened the can of beer that she didn't intend to drink. But this time I feel different from before. It seems like you will leave and never come back. Duan Fei looked at her being bitter by the beer and wrinkled her face. This time it's a bit complicated. I might not come back for a short time. Did La Commander tell you? Hawkeye answered. No. Don't underestimate the sixth sense of women. After taking a long sip, Haka sighed. It's really bitter. Then she said vaguely. I am a soldier. I have a duty to protect the people. Duan Fei, tomorrow I won't pick you up anymore. And she drank again. Duan Fei looked at her and suddenly said, Haka, give me your hand. She choked on the drink and panicked. What do you want to do? Duan Fei still stretched out his hand towards her. Don't worry, give it to me. Haka hesitated and put her hand on his palm. He activated his contract power. Light flew out and wrapped around their hands. Haka was startled and opened her mouth to look. He had successfully activated the A-level contract power of mind power. Duan Fei withdrew his hand and looked at her. Okay, I have made a contract with you. No matter where you are, as long as you are in danger, I will come to save you right away. Seeing that she didn't answer, he asked doubtfully, what's wrong? Haka just lowered her head and blushed, holding the can of beer and drinking again. Looking at her, Duan Fei didn't understand and thought, did I make her unhappy? The beer probably wasn't bitter anymore. From inside the room, Xianyu saw the two standing and talking to each other. Anna also saw them and wanted to go out there with a can of soda. Duan Fei, play guessing games with Anna. But she was quickly grabbed by Xianyu and pulled back in the opposite direction. Let's go, sister will play with you. Anna was still doubtful. Can Sister Xianyu play? Anna is very good at it. Aong walked towards the two. Xianyu, do you have time to talk? Xianyu agreed. Anna decided to go find the bunny to play with her. Xianyu was a bit worried and told her not to bully anyone. Aong held out the cross-shaped pendant. This is for you. Lai Fong said it was very important to you. And also, please say goodbye to Duan Fei for me. We have to leave first. Xianyu was surprised. You are leaving soon? Do you have any plans for the future? We will continue to look for the remaining S-level characters and invite them to join our team or leave the Heavenly Net team. We have to reduce their strength. We also have to make our team stronger so we can keep up with Duan Fei. Aong said. Xianyu hesitated. Why don't you just tell him directly? Anna is happily playing with the little rabbit and how? Don't bother him like that. We will meet again sooner or later. Aong had decided. Outside on the balcony, Duan Fei was confused when he saw Haka drinking non-stop. The sun was rising over the refugee camp. Duan Fei was leaving with Xianyu and Anna. They were heading towards the door that was already open. Brother, where are we going next? Xianyu asked curiously. We are going to the Devil Island. Duan Fei had determined their next destination, an island in the middle of the sea that looked very dangerous. In H City, Kim Bao was flying in the sky. Duan Fei was sitting on its body. Kim Bao, land here. The three of them landed on the ground. He looked at the map in his hand and said, "We have been traveling for a day. It seems that the Devil Island is not far away." Anna was tired and hungry. Anna is hungry. He looked around and said, "It seems that there are no zombies here. We will stay here for a while and eat something." He entered a ruined shop and said, "This place looks good. Quickly get some food and supplies from this convenience store, everyone." Anna ran ahead happily. "French fries. French fries." He also turned to his sister Xianu and said, "You should also collect some things quickly. There is nothing on the island we are going to. From now on, we have to adapt to surviving the end of the world. It will not be like in the refugee camp anymore." Xianu also knew that the place they were going to was dangerous. "Yes, I understand." Duan Fei watched his sister's figure. Xianu was always insecure about herself because of her health problems at first. She could only leave the wheelchair when she awakened her power, but then she was kidnapped by the Heavenly Net team. She always stood up by herself. It seemed that he thought too much. She had grown up, but the outside world had changed too fast. He had to learn how to survive in the end of the world. 30 minutes later, Duan Fei didn't know what to do. "Anna, did you really only get French fries?" Anna pushed a cart full of them out proudly. "Isn't Anna good?" Xianu also came out with a cart. "Only French fries are not enough, you have to have some drinks too." Anna looked at her cart and exclaimed, "You are amazing, Sister Xianu." Duan Fei was speechless when he saw them. It seemed that they were not fully grown up yet. He also pulled a cart full of stuff out. "Luckily, he had enough food for us to use for a while. We can't delay any longer. Let's go quickly. The waves are crashing very hard. The water is overflowing on the shore." Looking at the situation, Duan Fei said to his two younger siblings, "We have to find a boat." Anna didn't understand why Kim Bao didn't take us there right away. He explained her question, "The sea has no place for us to land. If something bad happens, it will be very dangerous." Anna was very happy when she heard that. "That's fine. Anna has never been on a boat before. I'm so excited." Suddenly, an old woman appeared out of nowhere. Anna was startled and screamed, "There's a ghost." Duan Fei put his hand on her head and bowed. "She's a human." "I'm sorry, ma'am." Anna quickly apologized, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." But she was still a little scared. The old woman didn't pay attention and asked, "Have you met my son, a try?" Duan Fei looked up and said, "No, ma'am. It's dangerous for you to live here alone." A person came unexpectedly and dropped a box of bread on the ground. Then he grabbed a stick and ran straight towards Duan Fei's group. "Get away from my grandma, you zombies." He swung at Duan Fei and Anna, but they dodged it. He missed and looked up cautiously. He was surprised to see that the people he attacked were not zombies. In a house by the seaside, the girl bowed her head and apologized, "I'm sorry for mistaking you for zombies." Duan Fei didn't blame her and she introduced herself, "My name is Aong. How should I address you all?" Duan Fei's group also introduced themselves one by one. "My name is Anna. You can call me Xianu if you want. My name is Duan Fei." He then asked, "It seems like everyone else who lived here has moved away. Why are you still here?" "The others have gone to the shelter, but my grandmother always hopes that my father will come back," Aong answered him. Duan Fei turned around and saw a picture on the wall. The man in the picture was her father. "Is he a policeman?" "Yes, he's a prison warden." Aong then told them that after the disaster happened, he left by himself and they never heard from him again. She was sad as she recalled it. The three of them sat quietly and listened. She continued, "I always believe that he will come back. He will definitely come to find us. But my grandmother's dementia was getting worse day by day. She always stood by the window alone or stared out there waiting for my father to come back. Because I had to look for things outside, I couldn't always stay by her side. If we continued to stay here, I was afraid that... Suddenly, Duan Fei interrupted her. Your grandfather was a prison guard on Devil's Island, right? He was on the island guarding the most notorious criminals in the world. Duan Fei said that her grandfather might have gone to the island. The place we were going to was also the Devil's Island. He said, how about this? You and your grandmother come to our refuge. I will look for your grandfather's whereabouts for you. Aong heard him say that and advised everyone. You want to go to the island? No way, it's very dangerous. No one has moved out since the disaster. The situation on the island is very dangerous. But Duan Fei was not afraid. He said, don't worry, I have my own plan. We just need a boat now. I hope you can help us. Aong knew she couldn't persuade him anymore. At night, the full moon was high in the sky. Duan Fei and his two companions were standing on the shore looking at the boat in front of them. They were ready to go. It's getting dark. Let's go. Suddenly, someone called out. Duan Fei turned around. It was Aong with luggage on her back. She ran out and gasped. Please take me with you. Duan Fei was worried. Have you thought it through? It's very dangerous on the island. What will your grandmother do if you go? Aong was very determined. I have arranged everything for my grandmother. I am very familiar with Devil's Island and I know how to sail a boat. I will do my best to help you all. I have thought it through very carefully. I must find my father myself. Duan Fei turned to look at Xianyu. She nodded slightly. Seeing that, he turned back to Aong and said, I understand. I only have one condition, everything must be arranged by me. She happily agreed. They all got on the boat and set off. That's good then. Let's go straight to the Devil's Island. Aong poured a cup of hot water and brought it to her grandmother. Grandma, it's time to rest. Sitting in the house and looking at the people from the window, the old woman asked her granddaughter, are they going to the Devil's Island? Aong also looked outside, yes. Suddenly, she said to her, you go with them. She was startled and turned around. What did you say, Grandma? I'm here to take care of you. But she said again, it's okay, it's okay. I have hands and feet and don't need you to take care of me. I know you also want to go to the island to find your father, but I'm not at ease if you go alone. I can only pretend to be stupid so that you can take care of me until now. You have other companions now and it's hard to get this opportunity. Do you want to miss it? Aong was still very worried that if she left, her grandmother would be alone. But she said again, waiting for one person or two people is no different at all. But waiting for one person and waiting for two people are very different. Aong was on the boat remembering this and became more determined. Grandma, you must wait for us to come back. The boat cut through the waves and sped across the sea. Xianyu turned around and looked at her brother curiously. Brother, why is this island called Devil's Island? This is the island where the notorious and evil criminals who committed capital crimes are imprisoned. They regard human lives as worthless and their hands are stained with fresh blood. They are truly bloodthirsty monsters, so this place is called the Demon Island, Duan Fei explained. But the really scary thing is that after the disaster on the Doomsday, a bolt of energy struck the island. All the people on the island turned into zombies. They inherited their brutal nature from when they were human. At close range and over a long time, they will be affected by this energy source. Their evolution speed is even faster than the zombies living outside. This time we came here to destroy the zombies on the island and find that energy source. The most difficult thing to deal with is their original breed. They have a defensive army called the original species. The disaster was also caused by them. This place will become our training ground. Everyone must take this opportunity to upgrade their energy. Xinu and Anna listened attentively to him. The ship arrived at Demon Island. Aong stopped the ship. "We're here, everyone. The main gate is very dangerous. I'll take you to a small trail to get in." "Thank you for that." When they got ashore, Anna looked at the scenery on the island and was very scared. Anna said this place is terrifying. In front of them were large and small rocks piled on top of each other, surrounded by rocky mountain sides. Duanfei observed and warned, "From now on we have to be vigilant. We have already entered the outskirts of Demon Island, danger can happen at any time." Xinu wondered about the outskirts? Yeah, Demon Island is a huge prison with a very complex structure. The entire island is divided into 5 rings, and the closer to the center, the more prisoners there are. Right now we are standing in the 5th ring. We have to find the door leading to the next area to get in. Aong saw Duanfei explain and was curious, "How do you know this place so well?" He turned his head and said, "I heard someone else say it." Xinu suddenly fell silent, not knowing what he was thinking. Duanfei walked ahead and saw something strange. He turned his head and asked, "What's wrong, Xinu? Are you okay?" And she thought her brother was growing up more and more every day. She had to try harder not to become a burden for her brother. Suddenly Duanfei shouted, "Watch out!" Everyone split into 2 sides quickly. On top of the rocky mountain there was a zombie attacking Duanfei's group. The weapon it used to attack just now was a metal ball connected to a thick chain. Seeing that it didn't hit anyone, it rolled up the iron chain in its hand. Did everyone dodge it? Duanfei was on the same side as Aong and he asked everyone, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Xinu, Anna, are you guys okay?" On this side Xinu was supporting Anna. "We're fine, we're all fine." Standing on top of it, the zombie looked down. 1, 2, 3, 4 people and 2 beasts. Too many targets, had to pay extra for that. The beasts are 50% off. Aong was sitting reading a small notebook and found that number 71 is a famous assassin in the world. He can single-handedly take out a gang of underworlds. Duanfei was surprised. "You have this kind of material?" "Oh, normally when I'm bored my dad tells me stories like this, then I just take notes, that's all. Assassins are really interesting waiting here for me." Then, Duanfei suddenly soared up, making Aong, who was sitting next to him, startled and stared at him. He flew behind the zombie assassin. How come he didn't sense the zombie when he came close to him? The zombie was still muttering to himself, "Who should I kill first? I decided to kill you first." He suddenly looked up at Duanfei and attacked him. How could he react so fast? He punched a big tree next to him and broke it in half. He threw a metal chain quickly and wrapped it around Duanfei. He tossed him into the air and threw a metal ball at him. But he activated his shadow killing ability to dodge. The zombie assassin saw that he escaped from his restraint and was very surprised. He didn't have time to think when his legs were frozen and couldn't move. He looked far away and saw Xinu controlling the ice that froze his legs. "Damn it, you have to pay extra for this," he shouted angrily and threw the metal ball to break the ice and attack Xinu. Seeing the metal ball flying fast towards her, Xinu didn't panic but continued to use her move. Countless ice spikes grew up to block the path of the metal ball. Anna stood beside her and cheered, "Sister, Xinu is awesome." Wait a minute, there were cracks on the ice. The ice broke and the metal ball continued to fly towards Xinu. Anna quickly called Xiao Du Guin. It flew up quickly. "Quickly use your absolute wind dance," Anna told it. It used its move to create a tornado. The zombie that was on top of the mountain flew down. The 10th rule of assassins: when you get close to your target, crush them. He held his weapon tightly and quickly pierced through the tornado and attacked Xinu. She saw that he had broken Xiao Du Guin's move and was surprised. "What? She hugged Anna in her arms and protected her. Duan Fei arrived and used his hand to stop the metal ball. Xianyu, go to Afuang quickly. Take good care of yourself. But Xianyu wanted to say more when he continued, you guys can't fight him. In his previous life, his job gave him a lot of combat experience. After becoming a zombie, these skills increased even more. You guys are still very weak in judging situations on the battlefield. Just leave it to me. Xianyu realized that he was right. I understand. The 7th rule of assassins, if assassination fails, fight immediately. The zombie used his move again. Xianyu quickly hugged Anna and ran away. The metal ball flew back to the zombie assassin because Duan Fei used his mental power, but he stopped it with his hand. He quickly got his weapon back and prepared to attack Duan Fei again. Seeing that, Duan Fei was a bit surprised. He didn't expect that he could use his own strength to stop and control his mental power. Although he had prepared himself for the zombies here being very strong, he was still a little shocked. This was only the first round of the prison. The next road would be harder and harder. He attacked straight towards the zombie. He also rushed towards him. The fight caused the rocks around them to fly up and dust to cover them. Xianyu was scared and realized that she couldn't intervene in this fight anyway. In the end, she still let her brother protect her. Duan Fei killed a level B zombie and earned 600 evolution points. He turned back to look at the group. Alright, let's keep going. Anna quickly praised him. Duan Fei, you are amazing. Afuang was scared and pointed at him. Who are you? How can you use superpowers? She saw a person who had awakened for the first time. Xianyu looked at him with determination. Brother, please teach me how to fight. I have to become stronger. Afuang took out her small notebook. An awakened person? So people can get superpowers through this method. I have to write it down. Anna was next to Xiao Du Qian. Anna also has to become strong. Duan Fei was surprised. You guys, but Xianyu continued. I don't want to be protected every time because of my weak power and drag you and Long down. I don't want this to happen again. Long is also trying to catch up with you. I also want to understand this world. I want to follow you, brother. Duan Fei put one hand on her head and the other hand on Anna's head. He looked at them trying hard and was happy. You have to remember what I'm about to say. The rule to survive in this apocalyptic time is to know your own power, strengths and weaknesses. Xianyu, your absolute cold power's main advantage is that it has a long range of attack, but its main weakness is that it is very weak in close combat. We can't rely on our power alone. We have to use our power to overcome our weaknesses. How to deal with it when you get close is the key to using your power. Next is Anna. Your power is very special. Most of your strategies are to control the actions of other things. You currently have Xiao Du Qian. You have to train it to have more fighting skills. Then you have to increase your power of control over more things. Next, find someone who can protect you by your side. You are the leader, so your safety is very important. Do you understand the knowledge you need before fighting? Anna and Xianyu looked at each other and saw that they were like that. Duan Fei could only raise his hand and scratch his head. It's okay if you don't understand now, this is a bit hard to imagine. You will experience more in actual combat later and I think it's still a bit difficult at this stage. But they didn't listen to him and just held hands happily. That's great, Anna. It turns out we can improve our fighting power like that. Right? I thought we could only get stronger by eating more potatoes. Let's go, we really want to meet the next zombie. Come on, we will catch more zombies. Duan Fei could only watch them holding hands and walking ahead. Afuang was worried next to him. It seems that I'm the only normal person here, huh? I'm so embarrassed that I've added more burden for you guys. Duan Fei turned his head and looked at her. Don't say that. The strength of a person is not only in fighting experience. You were brave enough to take risks with us. This determination is very strong. Moreover, your notebook is very useful for our next journey. She was about to say more, but then Xinu and Anna came back and called her brother. Let's go, Duan Fei. Hurry up. Right now we are teammates, you just need to strive towards your goal, Duan Fei comforted her. Aifwang regained her confidence. Duan Fei's group continued to go inside the island. Xinu, Duan Fei called his sister when he saw her in a daze and didn't know what she was thinking. What's wrong? Be careful, danger can happen at any time. He said seriously. Although we try hard to improve our work ability, we can't be impatient. This is a taboo in combat, personal safety is also very important. Yes, I will try to pay more attention. Hearing his sister's agreement, Duan Fei turned to Aifwang. Do you know a lot of information about the terrain here? My father took me here before and it was quite impressive, Aifwang replied. The place where we landed on the island is the center, the stone gate at the head of the island is on the other side. Now we are going backwards, we have to go around a circle to get there. Because I only got to the outside of the island before, I don't know what it's like inside. Anna suddenly pointed to the sky and suggested, can we call Kim Bao to fly us up there? Aifwang heard that and said, I'm afraid not. My father once said that the architecture of the Devil Island is all sealed off in secret, you can't break in from the outside. But now maybe no one controls the air anymore, maybe we can use full force to attack and enter. Duan Fei interrupted her. No, that's too dangerous. Doing that will attract a lot of zombies. It's very dangerous. A step-by-step approach will suit us better. Moreover, it can also help everyone increase their abilities and make it easier to find Aifwang's father. Aifwang was embarrassed and thanked him. He continued to speak to everyone. We have to investigate each area thoroughly before moving on to the next one. Prepare for a long battle. Anna shouted, Yes, sir. Suddenly, a sound came from somewhere. 3.4 centimeters. No, 3.1 centimeters is still not enough. Xinu was the first to hear it and warned, Wait, did you hear that sound? He said, Sound? I don't hear anything. The sound continued. 3 meters. At this point, Duan Fei heard it and said seriously, Get ready. A head slowly appeared in the distance. Why can't it be 1 centimeter? It was a zombie holding a knife and slowly walking towards them. Its knife was very sharp and it cut a piece of wood that was exactly 2.5 centimeters thick. It looked up and saw Duan Fei's group and was very surprised. Wow, humans! They are humans! How wonderful! This time I must succeed. I will cut you into centimeters. It rushed to attack them. Xinu was terrified when it suddenly attacked her. Duan Fei quickly blocked in front of his sister and cut the zombie in half. He turned his head and yelled, Move back. The zombie opened its eyes wide. Although it was cut in half, its upper body could still move. It held the knife and attacked Duan Fei. He was caught off guard and couldn't dodge. Then suddenly there were ice blades that cut the zombie into pieces. Aifwang hid behind a tree and peeked out in surprise. Anna also gaped. Duan Fei turned around and was shocked. Xinu said, You have to overcome your weakness. Xinu held the ice sword and said firmly. He was surprised and admired her adaptability. She could awaken an S-level ability and was not ordinary. Anna ran out. Sister Xinu is so strong. He agreed, I'm also very surprised. Did you think about this all the way? Duan Fei asked curiously, I just followed your advice. She said, Yes, I always think about how to improve my close combat ability. The first thing I thought of was weapons. The zombie was cut into pieces, but it was still alive. I glanced at the side and saw a simple short knife. Just now in that critical moment, I used my imagination to condense ice into a long sword. The zombie still looked at its body parts and suddenly screamed, "So beautiful! This knife is so beautiful!" And then its body parts joined together. Duan Fei's group was surprised to see that it was still alive. The zombie wondered, "How can you cut such beautiful lines?" It was a D-level zombie with the ability to split its body into pieces and then combine them again. Fuang looked for number 67 in his small book. He found it. It was a perverted killer. He committed crimes by cutting the victims' bodies into pieces. He had killed 121 people, including 70 men, 30 women, and 21 elderly and children. He had cut them into 63,514 pieces, regardless of age, gender, or status. The feeling of cutting was not the same, but he had not seen anyone who could cut such neat and smooth pieces like this. "Like you could." The zombie continued to attack and talk. He was talking when he suddenly stopped and looked in shock. His left hand holding the knife had been chopped off. The chop was very fast, but it was not enough. He did not feel the art in the chop of the person. He turned to look at his severed arm and said, then rushed to attack Xianu. On the contrary, I was not like that at all. Xianu was not afraid and faced him directly. You could die 10,000 times and it would not be enough. She chopped many cuts on his body. Although he was chopped into small pieces, he did not stop mumbling. "That's right, this is the feeling. 1.9 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters, keep going. I feel the coolness and excitement in your chop. This cold chop will seal the cut and blood will not be lost. 1 or 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter. It's so beautiful. This is the most beautiful artwork in the world." The pieces of the zombie's body continued to connect with each other. He laughed happily. Xianu tensely looked at him. He became more and more excited every day. "It's time for me to perform. Where should I chop? Let's start with this beautiful face." He suddenly grabbed the knife and stabbed it straight at Xianu's face. She quickly raised her ice sword to block it. "Let's see how many chops you can resist." The zombie continued to attack, but suddenly it stopped. "What?" It turned its head and saw that its arm had been chopped off by Duan Fei. "You are too arrogant, look at it." Then he chopped another cut. "Damn this guy." Before he could finish speaking, he was cut in half. "Stop worrying about your gang." But it still held the knife and tried to chop at him. Its hand was chopped off again. Next was its body, which was also chopped into pieces, but it was still very confident and laughed. "Anyway, you can't kill me. Wait until you run out of energy, then I can slowly chop you up. How about that?" "Look behind you," Duan Fei calmly warned it. Behind Xianu was preparing to attack. It did not have time to react and was hit by Xianu's movie. Its body was gradually freezing. "How naive, no matter what, I can still live," it confidently said. Duan Fei activated his ability to seize. It felt the danger and shouted. "What are you doing to me?" "Nothing, just giving you a belated trial," he replied. A notification appeared, "Killed a D-level zombie, received 600 evolution points." Anna and Aong saw the fight end and came out of hiding. "Sister Xianu is so good." Xianu was embarrassed. "Not at all, if it wasn't for my brother, I couldn't deal with him." Duan Fei also praised his sister. "You really improved very fast." "Thank you." Before she could finish speaking, Xianu fainted. Duan Fei worriedly ran to support his sister Xianu. She held her head and said, I suddenly have a headache. I just used too much energy. My body is almost exhausted. I have to be more careful in the future. Absolutely do not use up all your strength like that. It is very dangerous, Duan Fei worriedly instructed. Rest for a while and then we will continue our journey, he said to everyone. Yes, sir. Eat the potatoes first, Anna happily said, but Xinu still wanted to say more. He knew what she wanted to say, so Duan Fei said first. It's okay, sometimes resting for a while is also an important way to survive in the apocalypse. If you keep pushing yourself like that, it's really very dangerous. The moon rose high and cast a dim light on the forest. Afuang was sitting leaning against a tree thinking. Then Duan Fei came from behind and asked. Aren't you eating anything? Duan Fei? I'm not hungry for now, she answered when she saw him. He sat down and talked to her. Are you worried about your father? Even after coming here, I still can't believe that there are such terrifying monsters on the island. If he really is on Island E then, she hesitated. There are really many dangers on the island, but you shouldn't despair either. We have to calm down first, he comforted her. Then he asked again, what kind of person is your father? Afuang remembered and told him, he is a person who works all year round and only stays at home for a few days. Then my mother couldn't accept this and left us. My father was also very strict and every time I did something wrong he would punish me very harshly. I used to think that work was really more important than family. Why did he leave us? She looked at the notebook and said, Duan Fei also thought about his own situation. I don't understand this either, I'm sorry. I just said some strange words, don't mind me Duan Fei. She turned to look at him. Are you okay? She asked again. By the way, why did you come to this island? Duan Fei paused and thought. He said, because I want to become stronger. I need to have powerful abilities to protect the people I want to protect. Only with enough power can I uncover the secrets of this world. If I can't know these secrets, humanity will not be able to revive. I don't want others to control my destiny. Hearing his confession, Afuang was curious. Is this your mission, Duan Fei? He wondered about his mission and said, it sounds like a mission indeed. I was given it from the beginning. He stood up. Let's go, let's fulfill our mission. Suddenly, I felt like I was awakened. I fought for the issues ahead. But it seemed that the burden behind my shoulders was getting heavier. It seemed to have exceeded my own capacity. But I didn't want to disappoint them. I wanted to respond to their expectations. That's right, this was my mission when I was reborn. Duan Fei realized his mission and became more determined about his own thoughts. 2 helicopters were flying to the refugee camp. La Commander was standing below waiting for them to land. Another commander stepped down from the helicopter. He and his subordinates walked towards La Commander. Welcome, sir. You have come here. La Commander had been waiting since early morning. La Commander, you don't need to be so courteous. I didn't expect that the refugee camp had developed to this level in such a short time. He looked around and evaluated. It's all thanks to everyone's efforts. It's not convenient outside. Let's go inside and talk. La Commander suggested. The two went inside together. Sitting in the room, La Commander asked, I don't know if you have any instructions for coming here personally? Don't worry about that. I came here for 2 important things. Hua Commander said as he picked up a cup of tea. The first thing you must know. It's about the war god in City C. I hope you will call him and his team here. La Commander heard him mention Duan Fei and replied, I'm sorry, I don't know much about what you said. But if you are looking for the war god, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. He hasn't returned since he went to City C. On the Devil Island, Duan Fei's group was hiding behind a rock and watching a few zombies. There were 4 zombies in front of them. Xiao Fuang, can you find out any information about them? Aong pulled out her small notebook and checked. Okay, wait a minute. The one who went ahead is number 50. He killed nearly 100 people for revenge on society. The two behind him have no records at all. Judging by their clothes, they are probably a jailbreaker and a cook. But be careful of the woman behind them all. She is number 41. My father once said that her whole family were bodyguards who would protect anyone for money except their own master. Everyone else was unimportant to them. But she is a bit special because she surrendered herself. After hearing the information about the zombies, Duan Fei gave orders. Based on the information from Xiao Fuang, numbers 50 and 41 are quite strong. We will assign the tasks like this. I will deal with number 41, and the rest will be handled by everyone else. Xianyu agreed with his opinion. But Anna looked outside and said, Duan Fei, can you let me handle sister number 41? Duan Fei was surprised. But her level is much higher than yours. I saw that she has a very different aura on her. She hasn't fully used her abilities yet. I want her to join my team, Anna persuaded him. Although he was very worried, Duan Fei still agreed with the girl. I understand, you have to be careful. Xianyu felt very worried and said to him, I'm not comfortable with Anna dealing with her. It's okay, Anna is very strong, so he turned to look at Xianyu. Then based on what we said before, I will deal with number 50. The rest will be given to everyone and Kim Bao, number 41 will have to rely on Anna. Let's start the fight. Xianyu launched an attack towards the zombies to attract their attention. The zombie number 50 counterattacked and shattered the rocks around. Duan Fei ran fast to attack it from above. It quickly blocked with its hand, but Duan Fei kicked its face and made it fly hard and hit the ground. The two zombies of the prison guard and the chef also ran up to attack. Duan Fei had one with berserk ability and one with petrification ability. Xianyu was also fighting around her, covered by sharp ice shards. Next, leave it to me, Anna. Yes, the girl started her mental power and tried to enter the memory of zombie number 41. The zombie suddenly raised its head and then lowered it again. Anna had entered inside the zombie. The girl was surprised. Why is her consciousness so empty? What's going on? Suddenly there was a violent shift, feeling danger, eliminating threat. The zombie suddenly attacked Anna. Xiao Du Guin was still next to her and flew out to block the attack of the zombie and protect its owner. The zombie retreated and was pushed back. Xiao Du Guin created a storm. Feeling danger, the zombie activated its ability. Danger increased, full force elimination. Zombie number 41 was level D, its ability was spirit armor. When approaching the target, it would be equipped with spirit armor. Different levels would have different effects. There was a limit on distance. It continued to run up and attack Anna. At this time, the girl had penetrated into its consciousness and heard it tell its life story. I loved dancing since I was young and wanted to wear a beautiful dress and dance on stage. It remembered when it happily showed its father its certificate. Dad, I won first prize in this dance competition. But its father didn't look at it but took it and tore it up. But because of the family, I couldn't choose my own life. Dad took me to the gym room. This is where you should be, you have to train hard. The whole family has high expectations for you. It bowed its head down and answered, yes. I thought that as long as I listened to my father seriously, I would have a short time of happiness even if it was just one day. Outside, Xiao Du Guin had been defeated by it. I started to complete all the tasks. Old Hong, your daughter is amazing. She alone dealt with the whole squad over there. Like father, like daughter. No, sir. She still has to work harder. I hope to cooperate with you again next time. After talking to the other person, her father turned to her and said, you did very well. To reward you, I will let you rest for a day tomorrow. Indeed. Don't you like dancing very much? Have fun tomorrow. I will give you a surprise. But I was wrong. I was wrong to think of myself as a normal person. He shouted, "It's all my fault." Anna was silent as he told her his story. It's all my fault, he remembered when he entered the room to practice dancing and saw all his friends had been killed. It's all because of my delusion that I could live like a normal person. And he received a letter from his father. Congratulations, my dear daughter. You have grown up. Through this, I hope you have realized clearly what you can do and what you should do. He was horrified when he remembered the scream of zombie number 41, in the forest. He attacked Anna while saying, "I just need to follow orders and complete the task." But he was blocked by Xiao Du-Gwin's storm attack. He flew in front of Anna and said firmly, "I won't let anyone hurt Anna." Zombie number 50 from this side turned around and shouted at zombie number 41, "What are you standing there for? Finish it quickly and come help me." He didn't say anything but just looked ahead. Xiao Du-Gwin used his wings to control the wind and threw rocks at zombie 41, but he dodged them all. The fight didn't stop. Xiao Du-Gwin created a wind ball and threw it at the zombie. The zombie stood still and watched the attack fly towards him. The attack hit the ground and exploded the rocks around it. Zombie number 41 was nowhere to be seen. The dust cleared and the zombie's figure appeared. Xiao Du-Gwin was very surprised that the zombie had used a shield to protect himself. The shield was fading away. He rushed to attack Xiao Du-Gwin, who also flew in. The attacks from both sides collided. Xiao Du-Gwin kept using his wings to create sharp slashes. The zombie raised his hand with a shield to block them all. He wondered why he couldn't use his full strength and why his mind was so chaotic since he met them. What was going on? On this side, zombie number 50 was pushed back by Duan Fei. He looked at him and thought that he was too strong for him to handle alone. And he looked at the other two zombies who were fighting with Xianyu and Kim Bao. Then he looked at zombie number 41 to see if anyone could help him. Duan Fei saw that it was not paying attention and asked, "What are you looking at, east or west?" Suddenly, it widened its eyes and saw that Duan Fei was attacking it. It had to use both hands to block the attack, and the ground under its feet was shattered. Duan Fei saw that the previous move did not work and retreated, thinking, "It seems that its defensive ability is quite high." The zombie stretched out its sharp claws from the dust and tried to attack him. It was easily cut off by him. Suddenly, there was nothing in front of him, and he did not know where the zombie number 50 had gone. It ran behind Anna and tried to attack her, thinking of getting rid of the weakest one first. Duan Fei saw it there and was scared. Oh no, its target is Anna. Xianyu also noticed that the girl was in danger and turned back to call Anna. Xiao Du-Gwin quickly rushed over. Zombie number 50 was very proud and laughed. In the consciousness of zombie number 41, a girl was sitting alone in the gym. Anna appeared and asked, "What are you doing here?" The girl was startled by the sudden appearance of someone. "Who are you? Why are you here?" Anna did not answer but asked, "Do you like what you are doing now?" The girl said she liked it. "Yes, I do. No one has ever asked me this question before. But I know that I don't really like it. I just follow my father's arrangement," the girl confided. "But it's funny that my father said I was very good at this. He wanted to nurture me into a talent for the family. He killed all my interests, including my friends, for this reason. At that time, I realized that I was no longer a normal person. I had no choice whether I liked it or not." Suddenly, a black coat covered her head, making her surprised. Anna was throwing around black clothes that looked exactly the same. The girl was sitting behind her worriedly. "What are you doing?" Anna came to a weight and tried hard to lift it up. Finally, she lifted it but suddenly screamed and threw it down, breaking the floor. Suddenly, the space changed and it was no longer the gym, which surprised the girl. Anna slowly walked towards her and reached out her hand and said, "Okay, now those things are gone. You can do what you love, and the first thing is to become Anna's good friend." The girl was stunned and asked, "How can she solve my pain so simply?" "Trust yourself once more and do what you want." Zombie number 50 was shocked to see that zombie number 41 had gone to hug Anna and used his hand to block its attack. The zombie leader opened his mouth in astonishment. "You? What are you doing? Are you crazy?" Number 41 answered succinctly, "Do you need a reason to protect your friends?" With one hand, she did not forget to defend and cover Anna. He was stunned that a person who had been turned into a demon could restore his humanity. Because he was careless and did not pay attention to his special enemy, Duan Fei had approached behind him with a thick killing intent. Duan Fei gave him a blow that made him lose his soul. The battle came to an end. Xianyu ran out anxiously. "Is everyone okay?" Anna just waved her hand to signal that she was fine. "Yes, I'm fine. Let me introduce you a bit. This is our captain Duan Fei. Next to him are sisters Xiao Fuang and Bo Kok. And this is sister Xianyu and Kim Bao." The female prisoner nodded to greet them and then introduced herself as well. "You can call me number 41. Now I have become a protector for Miss Anna." The girl was shy. "We are already friends." She stopped mid-sentence. The system immediately notified her of a series of information. It said that it had controlled a target higher than its own rank. It unlocked a new control effect. It could share experience with the controlled target. Click here to see more control points. Below were two command buttons, one was more and the other was confirmed. The girl hesitated and whispered, "More?" The system explained that two targets with higher ranks could share experience with zombies. 5 zombies above level 0 could amplify the range of skill deployment. 20 zombies above level 0 could share orientation with the designated target. 50 zombies above level C could amplify the range of skill deployment again. The following effects were waiting to be unlocked. Seeing Anna fiddling and mumbling in midair, Duan Fei asked, "What's wrong, Anna?" She turned off the system screen and answered, "Don't you see this thing, Brother Duan?" There was something with a lot of words that Anna didn't understand very well. Number 41 continued his master's words. "That is the skill effect of Miss Anna. Now we can share experiences with each other. Below are the effects waiting to be unlocked." Duan Fei quickly understood the problem. He said while guessing, "So Anna can use it to solve the problem of leveling up." It turns out that her ability is to upgrade based on the number of zombies. In this way, the effect will be very large in the future. Then he encouraged everyone, "All right, let's move on. Although everyone's abilities have improved, we can't be careless. We have to be vigilant at all times." Xiao Fuang shouted, "Hey, Brother Duan, this is the dormitory of the prison guards. I want to ask everyone to come over and see if my dad might be there." Duan Fei smiled lightly, "We came here to save your dad anyway. You don't have to be polite. You lead the way." Xiao Fuang immediately turned around and pointed, "Everyone follow me. There's a small road here that can go straight over there." She also knew this road. Xiao Fuang said, "My dad used to take me here a few times, so I remember it well. We're almost there. The dormitory of the prison guards is ahead." The smell of blood here was too strong. Maybe there was a fierce fight before. Xiao Fuang called out, "Dad, Dad." Duan Fei said solemnly, "Get ready to go over there. Although everyone's abilities have improved, it's very dangerous here. You have to be alert." There were already a few people waiting on the top floor of the dormitory for a long time. Their eyes followed them without any hesitation. Xiao Fuang walked, but her guts were twisted up. She thought, "Dad, don't let anything happen to you. Suddenly a group of zombies rushed down from somewhere and attacked her. She was too careless and didn't react in time. She stood still and looked at them getting closer and closer to her. Fortunately, she had her companions to save her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have any sense left to see her dad. Duan Fei reminded her, "Don't be careless. It's very dangerous here. It seems that these prison guards have all turned into zombies. If my dad also turned into a zombie, what should I do?" Duan Fei comforted her, "Don't think too much. Anyway, we're already here. Let's go inside first." They walked past the entrance door. There was also a fierce fight here. There were corpses everywhere on the floor covered with blood. He asked her, "Which floor does your dad live on?" Xiao Fuang thought for a moment and answered, "The third floor, room 302. She led the group to a room with a closed door. Everyone followed Xiao Fuang inside to check it out while he stayed outside to guard them. He had to be alert too. Duan Fei leaned against the railing slightly and let the four girls go in and check it out first. Inside was not much different from outside either. The smell of blood was so strong that it made people breathless. Number 41 put his hand on Anna's shoulder and pulled her back slightly and said, "Miss Anna, I want to change this outfit." The group of four split into two groups. Anna and number 41 went in to see if there were any clothes to change. Xiao Fuang and Xianyu were still looking for clues. It seems that there is no one left here. Duan Fei noticed the blood on the floor outside, which looked fresh as if someone had just bled here not long before they arrived. But now there was no sound at all. He felt suspicious and very alert. A moment later, the girls came back with Xiao Fuang's depression. Did they find anything? She answered in a gloomy voice, "The dormitory has traces of battles, but my father is not here." Duan Fei continued, "Don't lose hope, I also have some discoveries. There was a fight here before. Based on the blood on the floor, they ran in this direction not long ago. Over there is the pier, they probably ran to the pier. Let's go, we have to catch up with them." On the way, there were still signs of the battle. Duan Fei hid behind a rock and observed the situation ahead, avoiding being trapped by the enemy. Xiao Fuang just arrived. She leaned over his body and looked at him with a lost gaze. She rushed forward without hesitation. Xianyu wanted to pull her back, but Duan Fei stopped her. "Xiao Fuang, where are you going? It's very dangerous." Duan Fei was a bit sad. "Xianyu, let her go." She found her father. At the barrier of the pier, there was a man with orange hair who looked exactly like Xiao Fuang. He held a pistol in his hand and then fell to the ground. That was Xiao Fuang's father. Was he dead? Time suddenly went back to when Xiao Fuang was young, when she was only about 7 to 8 years old. She lay on the bed reading a book next to her father. She asked, "Why are you so busy, Dad? I haven't seen you much in a week." He stroked his daughter's head with love. "Dad's work is very important and I can't be with you often. I hope Xiao Fuang will understand Dad." She pouted, "Xiao Fuang doesn't understand. Aren't your relatives important?" He raised his voice a bit, "Of course they are important. Dad's work is to guard the dangerous criminals and prevent them from escaping and harming Xiao Fuang and the people in the city." The little girl turned her face away and said, "Xiao Fuang still doesn't understand." She then said, "Dad, please continue to tell me stories about the island of evil demons. Xiao Fuang always liked stories like that, right? But now Dad has to go out. Next time I come back, I will tell you very scary stories, okay?" "Really? That's great." At this time, Xiao Fuang kept hearing the intimate conversation with her father in her ear. But now her father couldn't open his eyes anymore. Life and death were beyond her imagination. She cried, "Dad, it's me. Xiao Fuang came to find you. Please answer me, Dad. Please open your eyes and look at me. Maybe he was still alive, even if it was just a faint ray of light. He remembered his old mother who once told him, you must protect Xiao Fuang well. Duan Fei and Xianyu saw this and felt very sad, but they couldn't do much more in this situation. He glanced back and saw a large group of zombies coming to surround Xianyu. Let's deal with this first. Among them were some higher-level zombies. They had the power of holy fire and were more hot-tempered than the others. They screamed, "Burn! Burn everything!" Before they could say another word, they got 2 ice spikes from Xianyu in their faces. She felt a bit regretful in her heart that she had been late and vented her anger on the zombies. Xianyu seemed to remember our parents because of Xiao Fuang's story. You must not let them advance half a step with your 2 battle beasts. Go back to the base and gather all the soldiers quickly to the square. What's going on? Why are we gathering at night like this? It's not another zombie wave, is it? Tu Long stood upright and reported, "La Commander, all the soldiers have gathered." He nodded and said, "Thank you for your hard work." You were about to ask about the cause when La Commander said as if he knew what you were going to say. I have thought about it carefully. A few moments ago in Hua Commander's office he talked about the war gods matter. I will confirm later. The next thing is the purpose of my coming here. La Duong calmly said, Hua Commander can just say it. Hua family continued, I have found out the origin of those zombies. I am preparing to gather all our forces to destroy them. The other bases have all agreed to go to war. Now only your base is left. While the zombies have not spread widely, we will work together to restore human civilization. La Duong thought, he still didn't know what the result would be, but right now the result would soon be announced to everyone. La Commander arrived and everyone lined up quietly. He stood in the corridor and said loudly to everyone, it's really embarrassing to call you all here so late. But I have a very important thing to announce. The apocalypse has almost passed for more than 2 months. We have gradually lost our position, but zombies are still increasing every day. If we continue like this, humans are very dangerous. Until now we have found out the source of them. All the other bases have gathered their forces to destroy them. I have also thought many times and decided to go to war for this battle. This time we will take the initiative, our lives are in our own hands. This time it may be very difficult, we may fail, but we have to fight, only by being proactive can we win. This is the battle for our future days. Haka, Lai Feng and Tran Jiahao will lead the soldiers to the front line with me. Besides me, the other 3 are all powerful war gods of the small team, their combat experience is very rich, they can definitely lead you. The departure time will be early tomorrow morning, fight for our tomorrow, fight decisively. As for Duan Fei's side, everything seemed very stable. Under Xianyu's potential power, how could he lose? It seemed that it was over already. Anna received a lot of energy, it seemed that she was about to level up. Duan Fei said, Xiao Fuang, I'm very sorry. Xiao Fuang suppressed her grief and wiped away her tears, she weakly replied, I'm sorry, it's all because of me that I delayed everyone's progress. You guys go ahead, I want to bury him and then go back to bring my grandmother to the refugee camp. Let me help you, your grandfather is a hero, he is even more a hero in your heart, he never gave up his position until the end, we will always remember him. After Duan Fei lifted Lai on his shoulder, a small notebook fell out of his pocket. Xiao Fuang picked it up and opened it, then she saw a letter with hastily written words stained with blood from her strong and silent old father. Xiao Fuang didn't know if her son could read this letter, but her father could only use this way to say what he wanted to say. Xiao Fuang hoped that her son would forgive her father. When the monsters appeared in the world, the first thing her father thought of was the prisoners on this island. If they took advantage of the accident to escape, their city would be the first place to face danger. Her father and his team decided that they would stay here and not let anyone leave by boat. The things that her father had to face were not humans, but monsters. His teammates died one by one. Soon, only he was left. He wanted to see his son and wife very much, but he couldn't leave. He had to stay here and protect his son and others. Xiao Fuang hoped that her son would forgive his father's departure. Maybe her father couldn't tell her stories about the Devil Island anymore. But don't worry, he wrote all those stories down. Reading his words made Xiao Fuang more painful. Her heart was broken into pieces. The person she hoped for the most was gone, but that made her stronger every day. She lived for her father and made the rest of her life useful. An hour later, the funeral for Mr. Li was over. Xiao Fuang seemed to calm down after crying for hours. She called, "Brother Duan, I have changed my mind. I have to continue forward. My father wrote that the deepest part of the prison was where the most terrifying criminals were kept. There was also a small guard team trapped inside, but the key was here. Now I have this thing from my father, maybe I can help more people." Duan Fei felt sorry for her and said softly, "Let's try our best together. Where's Anna number 41? The girl answered, "She is temporarily in Anna's space bag." Duan Fei looked ahead and told Xiao Fuang, "I have almost explored the outside.